Welcome to the Slot T Mafia podcast here on the Coach and Coordinator Network. If you're a wing T coach or you've studied the wing T and wondered how the slot T connects to it, then this episode is for you. The two offenses speak the same language. Things like power, trap, sweep, bootleg, play action, pass, misdirection. But the slot T has its own answers. It creates speed, attacks both sides, forces defenders to handle fast backfield action, tight timing, rigid pass, and misdirection that hits before they can recover. In this free clinic, which Paul Kilby will be giving tonight, he breaks down how the slot T and wing T are connected, where they separate, and why the slot T gives coaches a complete system for creating stress. And that's why we built slott.com around Paul. At the Coaching Coordinator Network, this is what we do. We help coaches take what they know, organize it, and build a real learning community around it. It's not just more videos or another course. It's a place where coaches can learn a system, ask questions, get answers, and keep improving with the people who have lived it. When you're installing an offense, of course, the videos matter and the clinics matter, as do the cut-ups, but eventually every coach runs into questions. Things like, how do we teach the timing? How do we handle this front? How do we clean up backfield action? How do we make our personnel fit into this offense? How do we adjust when the defense takes something away? And that's where the direct interaction changes everything. The value of slott.com isn't just the content, it's access to Paul Kilby through his regular Q&As, office hours, and a community of coaches working through the same system in real time. You're not just watching someone talk about the offense, you're learning from the people who have lived it, taught it, fixed it, and know the answers to the issues that come up when you actually put it on the field. In this first part of the episode, Paul will show you the connection between the wing T and the slot T and why the slot T creates unique answers through alignment, speed, misdirection, and timing. This will be the first part of his free clinic tonight. Then he's going to get into the 300 series, which is arguably the best misdirection series in football. And then you're going to hear from Wade Lawson. He's the head coach at Waskom High School in Texas, and he's going to talk about what it's meant to him to be part of the Slot T Mafia community. I think what he says is very powerful and really shows you exactly what you're going to get within the Slot T community. Here's the overview of Slot T versus wing T with Coach Paul Kilby.
So similarities between the wing T and the slot T, they're both man blocking schemes. I mean, that's at the heart of this thing. One of the hearts of it. It's you got him, you're on this path, you have most dangerous, you're trapping first man past the nose, you're pulling kick. It's man blocking scheme. So we joke around, the word zone is a 4-letter word. We'll never use it around there. The heart of it all is power, trap, sweep, bootleg, and play action pass. And the wing T and the slot T, that's very similar. So many guys would watch it and say, that's wing T guys would look at that and say, absolutely. There's your trap. There's your fullback trap. There's your tackle trap. Buck sweep both ways. Misdirection football is the heart of both offenses. We feel like we got a little more in the slot T, and that's what we're going to look at today. Our quick side 100 series was just tons of misdirection. Lots in our jet series, lots in our strong side 300 series as well. There's an old saying in the slot T, block a few, trick a few, make a few miss. And there's so much in that saying Coach Bush came up with, one of the godfathers or the godfather of the slot T, because in terms of block a few, we're never usually an overpower. Once in a while, we'll get a kid on an offensive line that's just, he's a complete beast, but we do a lot with 170, 180 pound strong and quick guards, 200 pound, 190 pound strong end. Sometimes we get a little bigger one, and our strong end has to be our best base blocker. So he's not an actual pass routing strong end. He's just another offensive lineman. So we don't get a lot of devastating blocks, but we're fast on angles. We get in people's grill before, they really know what's going on or where the ball is. Trick a few. If we can get a defensive end, come up field a little bit, and we can G him or a D tackle to penetrate someone, we can trap him. If he's not, we'll block down on him. Linebackers, we can get them influenced with our back action, take a step or two the wrong way. A lot of times it's just a little angle we need for that tackle on trap. We may have most dangerous linebacker. You just get that piece of them, knock them past the hole. That gives us a chance. Make a few miss. Our running backs have got to be great runners. And I have this under similarities of wing T because I truly believe wing T guys are all nodding their head and say, yeah, this is obviously you're speaking our language. It's the same stuff. T even it maybe is a little more congested even than the wing T. What we consider a great hole, spread running back, getting the ball back there, stand there, taking a step, and the quarterback riding them. He's looking for cut back and zone and massive holes to open up. What we tell our kids in film, that was an incredible hole. What are you doing, dancer? What are you doing getting tackled by one guy? We expect a lot of them. They hit that hole fast, and that's earned and learned through repetition in offense and practice. Flat T running backs from a young age learn to hit things fast, run a certain way, and they can't be creative at all as a running back until they're 2 or 3 yards past the line of scrimmage. Then we tell them, now you can look for cutback. Now you can bust to the sideline. They're robots until that point, following their guards, running up the back of traps, hitting them tight. Very similar to the wing T. The differences, I'm going to come back and break these down a little bit more. Slot T and ace net gives you the ability to run trap, sweep, and all play action passes equally to both sides, strong side and quick side. I think the wing T is a little bit more one side, strong side dominant. Hitting the hole as fast as possible. I think the wing T trap might hit a little bit slower. Their fullback is usually a little bit deeper than ours. If I was starting a new place right now and I'm at the opposite, late in my career, I'm at a place that's been running the slot T for since 2000. So 25 years. Our kids are very versed in it. They speak the language. But if I was going in somewhere new right now, I wouldn't use the football in the backfield for 2 or 3 days. To get backs to go as fast as we want them to go, to get them to attempt always to beat the handoff, we would just be going through everything and probably gaining a lot of confidence in kids. They see how fast this thing moves, how fast we hit the holes, and then eventually introduce a football, day 3 or 4. In the slot T, the fullback and the guard trap, like I said, hits the trap a little bit faster, I believe. Our fullback alignment, I'm going to get a back alignment, more detail here later. His heels are at 4, not 5 or 6, like a lot of wing T teams. It's it's just a different philosophy. Wing T teams run trap. It is just incredible looking, devastating. We look at sometimes, oh my gosh, our guys would never be able to block a guy that long. We'd be in big trouble. So we try to hit that thing so fast and hit that trap and get a piece of a guy. Fullback is trying to embarrass the quarterback by beating the handoff. They all are. They're trying to beat the handoff every single time as our mentality. We beat that into them from a young age. On tackle trap, one little difference is when people run Sally or tackle trap in the wing T, a lot of times, and I'll put this on the board later and I'll show our 422 tackle trap, that the tackle's doing the trapping and the fullback will go and replace him. And then the back will come around, get the ball, and hit that trap. We do the opposite, where our back is running right up the back of the tackle, and the fullback, and this is a really tough block, he's got to go behind the tailback getting the ball, and if someone's closing a 5 technique on the quick tackles trap, and he's expected to cut that guy, then we have to work really hard on that. We work on that in timing and his angle and coming right off the tailback's butt and having a bag from the cut constantly in practice, so it's really ground in their head. I won't get too deep into snap count married to the series. Wing T guys, this is necessarily a different state. Some may do, some may. Guys in the slot T, some hip. Every play is every practice like a scrimmage. Just different philosophies. We don't hit it all. We have our fun team holding bags, and yes, we're hitting a kid holding a bag, standing up, not down in the stance. Early on, we're not very physical because of that, but we trust the process. Or hitting the sled, or going fast. We get a little more physical by about game 5 or 6 and on, and hopefully into a deep playoff run. It's just not human nature, we feel, in our philosophy, to want to smash into something 140 to 180 times in practice for run that many plays, kid in a stance. After a while, they're brother-in-law on each other, and we don't feel they're going to be fresh on Friday nights when they're doing that. Our paths and angles are very, very rigid. This allows us the mentality of going as fast as we can. We try and sell our kids to go fast in their paths, take great angles, and at some point, somebody in the defense is going to take a bad step, false step, get out of position, make a slow read, get caught up in trash, and hopefully, I said we are out of there. It's great clinic talk. Hopefully, we are out of there. One difference I see too, wing T and slot T for years, and I used to, way back early in my career, I was coaching college in Canada, and our best team at our conference ran the old Delaware wing T, and they were just incredible at it. Is bubbling of guards like on buck sweep, not necessarily the kick out guard so much, but the seal guard. once he crosses center, he gets some depth and gets running downhill. We are hugging butts as tight as we get. If we get an edge on our side, we're run 3-4-9 the quick side. We get an edge or 3-2-8 or 8 hole on the strong side. Our strong tackle and strong end get movement. We believe it's going to be a great sweep regardless. At that point, we're in great shape. But we want our guards running right downhill, hugging those guys, the kick out guy, the seal guard, running right behind those guys. No bubbling at all. We're trying to attack the line, get up in the stovepipe as tight and as fast as possible. I want those guards running downhill immediately when they can. A lot of times we get no movement and they're running flat down the line, but we don't bubble at all in any way.
The offense and scheme is one piece of this, but the bigger piece is the community that's around it. When you get into the slot tee, questions are going to come up. Fronts, adjustments, practice structure, installation, play calling, teaching the details. And that's where slot tee Mafia becomes different for you as a coach learning this offense. You're not trying to figure it out alone. In this next segment, Wade Lawson, who's the head coach at Waskom High School in Texas, has been part of the community. And he talks to us about the value of learning from Paul Kilby and connecting with other slot tee coaches, even though he's a guy who's done the slot tee for a long time. He now has answers he wished he would have had over a decade ago. Let's listen to Coach Wade Lawson on what he has to say about being part of the slot tee Mafia. Coach, what would it have meant to have something like the slot tee Mafia community when you were first learning the offense?
If I would have had this 12 years ago, all of just the stress and the time, energy, and effort that went into trying to do it right, but we just didn't know. But I still think about all of the things that you and I have talked about, and I've learned from 10 years of running the offense, all the things that I've learned in just the past month of being on this website, and it's just invaluable.
What makes this different from just going to a clinic or watching a few videos?
Years ago in 2015, when I came to Liberty, there's only so much you can learn in a day or two. To be able to get on this website and to interact with other coaches, to have Q&A, sessions with you throughout the week, office hours every week, it is huge. So, I just go back and I think about it over all those years. If I would have had this 12 years ago, all of just the stress and the time, energy, and effort that went into trying to do it right, but we just didn't know. All the things that I've learned in just the past month of being on this website, and it's just invaluable.
How does the slot tee Mafia help you teach the offense to your staff?
I mean, I can't tell you how many times over the last month I have went back and watched the whiteboard session and then go back in and watch the tape. And here's the thing, for your staff, just like at Waskom, I'm the only person that has any experience in the slot tee. But to be able to show my staff this, yes, I can get on the board and I can teach them and I can pull back film of us at Joaquin, but it's literally they can go in and they can learn play by play, series by series, blocking rule by blocking rule. And it's all laid out there for them.
Why is the interaction with other coaches such a big part of this?
The ability to meet other coaches throughout the United States, to hear of things that that they're dealing with, and as we get into the season, of things that maybe roadblocks they've run into, issues they've run into. Somebody did X, Y, and Z defensively to them last week. Well, here's the thing, I know this about coaches, it's a copycat world. Sooner or later I'll deal with the same thing. So the ability to get on there and talk through problems and solve problems together, I mean, it's just huge, because you have 48 minutes on a Friday night to try to get a win. And when it's gone, it's gone.
What would you tell a coach who wants to run the slot tee the right way?
I mean, just going back to the rule sheets, you literally have the rule sheets laid out position by position by position for every single, 11 on offense. And you literally have the instructions of how to put together a slot tee offense. You need to follow those rules. Like, they're on there for a reason. They're on there because there's been 25 years of doing it. And, if this is the way it's supposed to be done, don't interpret it your way, do it that way.
How would you describe the slot T community as a learning system?
I had told Coach Kilby, earlier on, I think I said in my text message, told him this is the best, most comprehensive learning system I have ever seen. And man, it just is like, it is literally laid out for you from in every aspect if you want to run the slot T. And I think one of the really, really important factors that a lot of people miss is, and Coach Kilby has covered this in, in the discussions in the learning forum, is that it starts in the weight room. Like, how you lift weights every day directly goes into how you run the offense, of how you run plays, just the ability to go, 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 go. What I'm saying is from the weight room to what the swing man does, 228, every bit of it's covered in this, on this website. And if you have the want to learn the offense, there's no reason that you don't.
Appreciate you, Coach Lawson. Thank you for your time. If you want to understand how the slot T connects to the wing T, where it separates, and how it creates answers through speed, timing, alignment, and misdirection, join us tonight for the free clinic. This was just a segment of the beginning of what Paul will present tonight. He's also going to show some film on the 300 series, which is probably the best misdirection series in all of football. Again, that's tonight. Slot T versus wing T plus the 300 series, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Paul will break down the offense, show the differences, and explain why the slot T has become a system coaches are using to create an edge. The link to register will be in the description. If you're hearing this after the clinic, you could go to slot-t.com to get the video as well. We look forward to seeing you tonight. Come for the free clinic, see how the offense works, then get inside the slot T community where the learning continues. Follow us on X at slot T Mafia. Follow me on X at Coach K. Grabowski. Links to all of these are in the description.